You've done the elimination diets, you've spent thousands on supplements, you've seen every specialist, and yet your digestion is still a complete mess. You still feel bloated, foggy, and exhausted. And if you've been wondering why, despite doing everything right, you're still not better, it's not because you're broken. It's because the system has failed you. If you're new here, I'm Tara. I'm a functional nutrition practitioner, and I help women who feel ignored, dismissed, and stuck finally overcome their chronic gut and hormone symptoms with a root cause approach. If you've been living in mystery symptom limbo, doing everything you can to feel better, but still getting nowhere, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. And I get it because I've been there. I remember going to my doctor because my body felt completely off. I was eating clean, following all of the healthy rules, but I still had uncontrollable bloating, brain fog, fatigue, anxiety, and weird reactions to foods I'd eaten my whole life. Deep down, I knew something wasn't right, and I was honestly worried about what it might be. So my doctor ran blood work, but everything came back normal. She told me it was probably just stress and then sent me on my way. No answers, no real plan, just a dead end, leaving me feeling helpless, hopeless, and questioning my own instincts. And it wasn't just about my symptoms, it was about how much they were stealing from my life. My stomach was bloated 24/7, making me feel so uncomfortable in my own skin. My brain fog and fatigue made it impossible to focus or show up fully at work. I barely had enough energy to do the bare minimum just to get through the day. And even though I looked like a normal, healthy 20 something year old on the inside, I felt way older than I was. My stomach was always so bloated and distended that I constantly looked like I was 6 months pregnant. And I had to rely on a bloating wardrobe of loose fitted clothing, while my favorite high waisted jeans collected dust in the back of my closet. This caused my confidence to completely plummet. And on top of all that, my social life completely disappeared. I was constantly flaking on plans with friends because I never had the energy to go out, and my symptoms were constantly flaring up. And because my symptoms were so easily triggered, I was down to maybe like 10 foods I could tolerate without flaring up. And while all of this was going on, I was being told by my doctor that this is normal. Here's the truth: all of that is not normal, and what you're going through is not normal. But your conventional doctor isn't trained or equipped to help you get to the root of it. If you're anything like my clients, you've already gone to multiple specialists, had multiple rounds of labs, and maybe you've even done a colonoscopy. Yet you still have no clear answers as to what's causing your symptoms. Here's why this keeps happening. Medical doctors are trained to manage and treat symptoms and disease, not investigate root causes. The conventional medicine system is built on a disease care model, not a true health care model. So, if you don't meet the criteria for a diagnosable disease, you're considered healthy and normal, even when you're living with daily symptoms. Their goal is to treat and manage diseases, not to get you to a state of optimal health. Next, the conventional medicine system sees the body in isolated parts. So, your anxiety is considered a brain problem, your bloating is considered a stomach problem, your PMS is considered a reproductive problem. They rarely connect the dots between the systems that are clearly influencing each other. Your doctors also rely on conventional labs that have very wide ranges that often miss early signs of dysfunction. The problem with medical lab ranges is that they are based on population averages from a population of people who are already sick because healthy people don't get labs run as often. So if your lab results fall within normal ranges, it's compared to what's normal for a population of sick people, not compared to a population of people at optimal health. So, this is one of the reasons why your labs can come back normal, even though you feel terrible. And if a practitioner only interprets labs through this disease only lens, functional imbalances often go unnoticed. And again, you're told that your labs are fine or even great while your health continues to steadily decline. Another reason is that medical doctors are usually not trained in nutrition or lifestyle medicine. Medical doctors are trained to diagnose disease and prescribe medical treatment. That's why they're called MDs, medical doctors. They're not trained in personalized nutrition, root cause investigation, or lifestyle based healing modalities. So, when you think about it that way, it's not really that surprising that the main option you're offered from your doctor is a prescription medication rather than a strategy for rebuilding your health, diet, and lifestyle. And another reason why you often feel stuck after going to your doctor is because insurance often limits the quality of care. So, when practitioners are governed by insurance, the insurance companies set the rules. So, appointments are shorter, and the focus is only on what's billable. Preventative care, nutrition support, and advanced lab testing are often excluded from this. You're usually discharged early before you're even fully healed because the system isn't built to support long term restoration. The bottom line is that you weren't given the wrong advice because you didn't matter. You were given incomplete advice because the system isn't designed to go deeper. I know how absolutely frustrating it can be to do everything right, to work up the courage to go to your doctor, to go to all of these specialists for help, only to be told that everything is normal and then handed a prescription to mask your symptoms. But here's what I want you to know. Despite the lack of answers from your doctors, you've still persevered with resilience. The problem isn't that you haven't worked hard enough, it's that you've never been given the right tools or the right roadmap that works with your body to heal instead of against it. And while you may have quietly wondered, what if this is just how my body is now? What if I'm just supposed to live with these symptoms for the rest of my life? The good news is that you don't have to settle for a life of uncomfortable symptoms if you don't want to. You can feel better, and there is another way forward. The truth is that there is this wide gap between feeling your best and having a diagnosable disease. And most women with chronic symptoms are stuck in that liminal space. This is where the functional health approach comes in. With the functional health approach, we don't just suppress symptoms. We ask, why are they happening in the first place? Because if your body isn't functioning optimally, we know that there's a reason for it, and then we seek to find it. We zoom out and take a wider, holistic lens, connecting gut health, hormones, minerals, nervous system function, and immune health to see the full picture of what's driving your symptoms. And by using functional labs, we can better identify the functional imbalances and deficiencies at the root of your chronic symptoms and dysfunction before they escalate into full-blown disease. This is because functional labs use more narrow ranges compared to functional labs. So we can get a better idea of if you are in an optimal range or not versus just a normal range. And if your lab results come back anything less than optimal, then we know that's likely a contributor to your symptoms, and then we can start taking the right steps in order to fix it. With functional labs, your lab results are always interpreted alongside your personal symptom presentation and health history rather than at face value, allowing us to create a plan that is truly personalized to your individual needs. Here are some examples of some functional lab results from clients inside my one on one practice. So, this first client was chronically fatigued, dealing with a host of food sensitivities. She was constantly moody and irritable and gaining a lot of weight. Yet, when she went to her doctors, all of her lab work came back normal. And in her words, she felt gaslit by her doctors to believe that her symptoms were all in her head. When we ran functional labs inside my one on one program, Gut Well, we found that she was dealing with serious mold toxicity from past mold exposure, parasites, gut dysfunction, and serious mineral deficiencies. And so when we pieced all of that together, it made total perfect sense why she was experiencing the symptoms she was experiencing. Or let's also look at my client who is dealing with severe constipation, bloating, and anxiety. Her doctors put her on a bunch of prescription medications to manage it, but that was about it. When we ran functional labs, we found that she had major candida overgrowth, serious gut dysbiosis, and severe copper toxicity and dysregulation that was causing mineral and cellular chaos in her body and her brain. And so for this client, all it took was to look that layer deeper into the functional imbalances to figure out why she was experiencing all of these symptoms. These clients were not crazy, and their symptoms were not all in their head. They just needed a deeper, more holistic approach to figure out what was going wrong at the functional level. With the functional health approach, instead of just suppressing symptoms with medications, we use diet, lifestyle, targeted supplementation, and nervous system regulation to address and fix the hidden imbalances at the root of your chronic symptoms so that your body can effortlessly heal and you can get your life back. The goal is to correct imbalances before they progress into a disease state, and so that you can start enjoying your life and feeling like your normal self again. The beauty of the functional health approach is that there's always a step forward. You're never left without answers, without solutions, or without hope. I know you might be thinking, I've already tried eating clean, restrictive diets, and fancy supplement protocols. How is this any different? This isn't about shoving you into another cookie cutter, one size fits all plan. It's about finding your unique and specific healing opportunities and creating a strategic, supportive roadmap. Healing isn't always about doing more or restricting more. It's about giving your body the right resources in the right order with the right support. Look, I've been in your shoes. I know how lonely, exhausting, and defeating it feels to be stuck in the symptom suppression cycle, constantly facing normal labs and being thrown prescription solutions. But I want you to know there are other options. Here are just a few of the incredible transformations many of my clients have experienced, women just like you, after years of being dismissed and gaslit by the conventional medicine system. And so, if you've been living in the gap between knowing something's wrong and getting real answers and solutions, I'd love to show you what's possible when we finally connect the dots, just like these clients experienced. If you're interested in learning more about my one on one Gut Well program or my mineral stress reset program to start uncovering your root cause imbalances, reconnecting with your body, giving it the support you need, and finally feeling like yourself again, you can find more info in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and if this video resonated at all with what you're going through, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more root cause resources to help you heal your body. I will see you in the next video.